Hi, my name is Kodamera. I work at Kodamera in Sweden, the country of Vikings and IKEA. We use Drupal to build most of our websites, and we also want to share as much knowledge of Drupal as possible, and this screencast is one of the ways we give back to Drupal. In our last screencast, we went through a complete installation of Drupal 8, and we left off with a finished installation with one post added to this. It was rather simple. It just said my first post. In this screencast, we're going to go through all the menus of Drupal. We're going to talk a little about the structure of Drupal, what you can do with it, what you can use it for, and then we're going to dig deeper and start experimenting more and more with Drupal in the upcoming screencasts. With Drupal out of the box, this is the administration toolbar that you are given. You can download modules and change the appearance of the toolbar or choose a completely different set of toolbars. But in this series, we're going to keep the original one. Right, so on the very top, you have 3 items, or 4 if you want to add the edit one. But we have Manage, Shortcuts, Admin. Manage is just to make the rest of the menu disappear or reappear. Shortcuts are the shortcuts that you and your account only want to have as shortcuts, the links that you want to have as shortcuts. You can add as many as you like. Keep it to perhaps 4, 5, 6 of them. We're going to go through how to add shortcuts. And then you have admin, which is my account, where you can view your profile or edit the profile account. And this is the account that we created when we installed Drupal. All right, back to site. And at the far right, we have the edit button. This doesn't edit the page that you're on at the moment. It just makes these little pen-like edit icons appear all the time as you're surfing through your web page. And these icons also appear when you hover your cursor around in your website, on your website. All right, so we're going to go deeper now. We're going to go to the second part of the menu, which consists of content, structure, appearance, extend, configuration, people, reports, and help. Right, so let's begin with content. It's pretty easy. This is the listing of your content in the form of posts, or as we call it in Drupal, nodes. You have content. You also have a tab for comments and one for files. So whenever you add content to your site, this is where it's listed. And you have the possibility to filter out which content you show in this listing by, for example, choosing I just want to see the basic pages, and we haven't done any basic pages yet, so all right, I would just want to look at articles. All right, so we have at least one article, and from this you can edit, you can click to view the node, you can delete it, you can also delete it by doing this and choose delete content and then apply. But no, I want to keep my very first post. That is the last thing I want to delete. All right, so that's a little bit about the content link. Let's go to the structure link in the menu. Now, the structure part of Drupal is where you set the layout and how you change the different types of information that you have. We have already taken a quick look at articles and basic pages, and they differ not so much, but a little bit. And when you continue to work with your Drupal installation, you add more content types, and this under structure is where you find the menu items where you can create more or change different content types. You also have display modes, menus, of course, that's a big part of the structure, taxonomy, tags and categories, This is where you change and manage those. And you also have views. Views is perhaps one of the most important parts of Drupal, where you can create listings of different kinds just by clicking and choosing. You don't need to write any code. Instead, you choose what parts of your information flow that you want to show, and views just adds this to a listing that you can put in a right column or left column or in a page or as an RSS feed or something like that. We're going to cover views pretty much in future screencasts. You also have contact forms and also comment types. So let's move on to appearance. Appearance is the theme section of Drupal. Drupal is shipped with a couple of themes that you use. For example, Bartik, which is the default theme of Drupal. But you can, of course, download new themes or create your own as well. This is also the place where you can change certain settings of your theme. For example, you can choose different color themes. Or you can toggle certain displays like user picture in posts, shortcut icons, etc., etc. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of themes for your Drupal site. And if you're not up to building your own theme, you can download one of these. We'll cover that in upcoming screencasts. Right, so another thing you can download are modules, which you use to extend your Drupal installation. When you want to add functionality to your Drupal website and you don't want to code it yourself, the extend part of your Drupal site is where you want to go then. Drupal uses something called modules, which is just a packet of code that adds functionality to your website. For example, if you don't like the Drupal comment system and you want to use the discuss comment system instead, you can extend Drupal by adding this module to your Drupal site. So you go to the module page on drupal.org and we just search for discuss, and here it is. Right, so right now the only version available for Drupal and Drupal 8 as we're using is a beta version. That is, it's not quite stable, but it's getting there. And I can download this and add it to my Drupal site, thus adding the discuss functionality in this simple manner. How to download Drupal modules is something we're going to cover in the next screencast. All right, let's move on to configuration. In the configuration part of Drupal, this is where you set the different settings to your added modules or your site information. You can change site name, email address, slogan, etc., etc. You can choose what should happen when you add accounts, new user accounts to your Drupal sites. We have the performance, file system, image styles, image toolkit, etc., etc. You also have a large part which is regional and language, which is a very big part of Drupal, where you simply add new languages to your site, making it multilingual, where you can translate nodes, translate posts in a very simple way. We're going to cover this part very much in upcoming screencasts, since this is the part where you tweak your Drupal site into perfection. Next up is people. Yes, people, users, the admins and editors of your site. Users are added to your website, and the different users get a role, and the different roles have different permissions, allowing them to do and not to do different things on your website. Next up, reports. Yes, the boring reports, or not so boring. This is the part where you actually tweak your performance, at least a little, and you can see what's wrong with your site. Drupal logs almost everything that happens on your site, from the different posts that are visited, the different pages or nodes, to the status report, where you can find information of stuff that you need to take a closer look at to make Drupal run better. You also have lists, top access denied errors, page not found errors, etc. Top search phrases, for example. This is the place where you can take care of these errors or use the top search phrases to make your site better. You also have lists, field lists, all the fields in Drupal in one handle list, and also views plugins if you have plugins for the views module. Last but not least, we have the help menu. If you want to learn more about Drupal or how to use your website, this is a good way to start. You have a small section for getting started. This is basically what we've covered in these two screencasts, but you can also find more extensive help on the different items of Drupal. This is the help topics sections down here. For example, if you want to learn more about the search function in Drupal, this is where you can find more information. That's a quick and basic walkthrough of the different sections of Drupal. And in the future screencasts where we're going to start building and adding stuff to Drupal, we will have reasons to visit these parts again, of course. Thank you for watching this screencast. Please comment on the guides and screencasts we have put together on our website or YouTube channel. Bye!